Here's some news the Noid won't like. New Domino's Pan Pizza. Fresh from the oven and delivered in 30 minutes or less, guaranteed. Domino's Pan Pizza. Thick crust, generous toppings, smothered with cheese. Sorry, Noid. Call for new Domino's Pan Pizza. Nobody delivers better.
There is truth in advertising, yes I swear. Got new Nikes on my feet and Vidal Sassoon in my hair. I can sure use a Budweiser Fruit of the Loom underwear. There is truth in advertising, I swear. Why would they lie to me when they love what they sell? Plus we all know that the liars have a special fire in hell. On the television, radio, and in the magazines, the advertising gods perpetuate the American dream. Advertising, let it be, let it be. Now I know that I don't need to buy everything they try to sell me, but so easily divided is a fool and his money. There is truth in advertising, let it be. Why would they lie to me when they love what they sell? Plus we all know that the liars got a special fire in hell. On the television, radio, and in the magazines, the advertising gods perpetuate American dream.
You were told to avoid so many things throughout your life. Drugs, alcohol, taking candy from strangers. But has anyone ever even stopped to warn you to avoid the Noid? If not, then they're doing you a great disservice because the Noid is everywhere, always watching and waiting. And he will stop at absolutely nothing to destroy your pizza and your sanity. The Noid was a character created in the 1980s for Domino's Pizza. Clad in a red, skin-tight, rabbit-eared bodysuit with a black N on his chest, he was meant to be the physical manifestation of the challenges of having your pizza delivered in 30 minutes or less. He was created by the ad agency Domino's used often, Group 243, and voiced by a man named Pons Marr. Pons actually has had a fantastically successful career as an actor, puppeteer, artist, and filmmaker, lending his talents to such titles as Return to Oz, The Blob, Monkey Bone, Team America World Police, and Buffy the Vampire Slayer, along with having worked on the entire series of Dinosaurs, often as an in-suit performer. The man is not one to be taken lightly. To be honest, avoid the Noid never sounded so much like a tagline for a company and more advice from your health teacher as to what STD to look out for. See, in 1979, Domino's had a guarantee that customers would receive their pizzas within 30 minutes of placing an order, otherwise the pizza would be free. However, in the mid-1980s, this was reduced to pizza simply being $3 off instead of free, which resulted in drivers driving recklessly, and because of this, the Noid, the embodiment of the guarantee, was then reworked for the company brand. His popularity was instantaneous, and in 1988, a Saturday morning cartoon series called The Noids was in fact planned for production on CBS. But it was eventually scrapped after people complained that it would be much less a TV show and instead an advertising ploy disguising itself as a cartoon for children, which that's probably not a far-off belief. That's probably what it was. Or would have been. But this cartoon setback didn't stop the Noid. No. He had grander plans for world domination.
In the pizza delivery game, the Noid can zap ordinary pizzas. But Domino's Pizza delivers more than all the others combined. So when you call Domino's Pizza, you get the best delivered pizza. The Noid just can't beat the best. Domino's Pizza. Nobody delivers better.
In 1989, a computer game entitled Avoid the Noid was released, in which the player has to deliver a pizza within a half-an-hour time limit to an apartment building swarming with Noids. Boy, and you thought they put padding into video games today. In fact, Some of the Noids you encounter in the game are actually armed with pizza-seeking missiles, which sound like a great way to find pizza so long as it doesn't blow up the pizza that it leads you to. In 1990, not to be overshadowed, Capcom themselves released a different game for the NES titled Yo! Noid! Yo Noid, which sounds like the name of a sitcom where the Noid moves into a hip neighborhood among a lame family, is your simple 2D action platform game and was first released in Japan, which is odd considering where he hails from. The Japanese title of this game is Kamen no Ninja Hanamaru, or Masked Ninja Hanamaru. In it, wild creatures led by Mr. Green are running amok around New York City, and as they cause havoc, the mayor decides to call upon the Noid to stop his evil duplicate, save everyone, and give him a massive pizza reward. There are just a few problems with the premise of this game. First of all, who cloned the Noid? And why? Or are there just multiple versions of him? I mean, his name is The Noid, insinuating that he is the only one, which inherently means somebody attempted to clone the Noid and failed, apparently, thus creating an alternate Green version who doesn't even get a real name outside of the ever-so-original Mr. Green. Secondly, the Noid's entire job, in fact his occupation listed on his Wikipedia page, yeah, we gave the Noid a Wikipedia page, you think about that for a second, is actually Pizza Destroyer. So, it's the mayor's goal here to give the Noid a pizza he can destroy? I don't think the Noid covets pizza, because from what I can tell, he simply wants to ruin pizzas. Look, I'm not comic book guy from The Simpsons, okay? I'm not gonna get into the semantics of a rip-off game based on a goddamn fast food mascot from 40 years ago, but this irks me to no end. All I'm saying is some continuity would be nice. That's all. Because of the 30-minute guarantee policy, several accidents and one death occurred, and Domino's was sued for millions of dollars in damages in several cases during the 1980s. In 1993, a jury awarded more than $78 million to a woman injured when a Domino's driver ran a red light, and thus Domino's announced the 30-minute guarantee promotions were a thing of the past. While this is all bad luck, and none of this helps the Noid in his staying relevant, there's actually one incident that really hurt more than anything else. On January 30th, 1989, a man named Kenneth Lamar Noid, a mentally ill man, thought the ads were a personal attack on him. He then entered a Domino's restaurant in Chamblee, Georgia, armed with a .357 Magnum and held 2 employees hostage over 5 hours. After telling the employees that the owner of the Domino's had stolen his name, he forced them to call the headquarters and demand $100,000 and a white limousine as getaway transportation, which, okay, that's pretty awesome. The guy had the balls to have class, gotta admire that. After offering to exchange one hostage for a copy of The Widow's Son, Noid reneged on his offer after a police officer brought him the book. For the uninitiated, allow me to give you context as to what the hell The Widow's Son is. The historical Illuminatus Chronicles is a series of 3 novels by Robert Anton Wilson. It is composed of 3 books: The Earth Will Shake from 1982, The Widow's Son from 1985, and Nature's God from 1991. It concerns the adventures of Sigismundo Selene, an ancestor to the Hagbard Selene character from the Illuminatus trilogy, as he blunders through Europe and America during the Enlightenment, constantly fighting to escape becoming a part of history. In light of that final sentence, Noid's hope to obtain the book now makes a great deal more sense. He did not want his name to become associated with a part of history, especially via a mascot for a pizza company. He eventually became hungry and forced the employees to make him 2 special pizzas and a salad, and while he ate them with his gun in his lap, the hostages escaped. He then surrendered to the police shortly afterward. After the incident, Police Chief Reed Miller told reporters, "He's paranoid." Well, thank you, Captain Obvious. Noid was charged with kidnapping, aggravated assault, extortion, and possession of a firearm during a crime. He was found not guilty by reason of insanity, which is justifiable, I think. Noid spent time in a mental institution, but eventually committed suicide in 1995. This incident has been insinuated to have caused Domino's to discontinue advertising using the Noid as their mascot, even if this claim has been rejected by both company and advertisers alike. While the Noid has been technically retired, he pops up now and again. The company brought him back for a limited run of 1,000 t-shirts in 2009, and on May 4th, 2011, he was brought back as a promotional figure by Domino's to be used in a campaign on their Facebook page, including making a brief appearance as a stuffed toy at the end of a May 2011 commercial promoting a one-topping pizza deal. In a hilarious and rather bad twist of irony, the 25th birthday of the mascot was marked with a video game, a tribute to Avoid the Noid, entitled The Noid's a Super Pizza Shootout. I don't know, that just kind of seems in poor taste to me, considering what happened. He's also popped up in pinball machines, a few other Domino's commercials, tattooed on the arm of a winner of shares of Domino's stock during the NFL playoffs in 2017, and can be seen briefly in the background of a 2017 Domino's ad itself. Listen, when we go into making these things, we think it's going to be in and out. Pick a mascot, gather some information, write it down in a semi-funny but mostly historically accurate format, and move along. But dear God, were we wrong with this one. The Noid is hands down one of the singular most fascinating mascot stories ever told. McGruff told people to stop doing crime. He didn't encourage them to kill people. The Noid is now responsible for what happened in that Domino's, and while I'm sure the company would love to forget the past and gloss it over as best they can, that's what we are here for. To drudge up the dirty laundry and air it on the clothesline for all to see. Finally, after all these years, Avoid the Noid really did have a meaning. It became prophetic. It just turns out that it wasn't the cartoon Noid you wanted to avoid.